Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope you already have an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here and sees me for the first time, welcome. My name is Janny and I'm doing this DIY channel together with Dyanne. I will keep it short because down below I already have my DIY supplies and ready to make a new DIY. If you're new here and you're not subscribed to our channel, of course we hope you will click the red subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. It would help our channel a lot to grow. So enough talking and let's jump into it. And you see already on the table are the things we need. We need, of course, our tumbling tile blocks, some paint at your choice. I use, of course, wood glue, but use any glue you like. Maybe you like your glue gun better. It's also fine. A piece of twine. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but probably I will. Of course, I have here my little basket with a little container with some scissors, some brushes, some markers, some cutting tools. I always have a couple of things in one little container. I always have here. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet because we need to wipe away the glue. We have a kind of a dowel. You can do any size you like because we're going to need a piece of the dowel. And of course I have here my bag full with little rounds, and we need a couple of the smaller rounds, but you see that later. For now, these are the supplies we need for this DIY. What we're going to make, we are going to try to make 3 little Santas, but with a twist. But you always know, with me it is always waiting how it will turn out, so we will see. So for our Santas with a twist, we are going to make rows of 5 blocks. We're going to make them in 3 sizes. Of course, we are going to do 1 block and we're going to place it against the other one this way. And number 3, number 4. And of course, we're going to close it up with number 5. Squeeze them together real hard and press it down. This is already 1. And we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need, or else we get one big mess. And I am already one big mess with the glue, so I'm going to do 4, 5. And again, we're going to do for the smaller size. And we do 1 and number 2, number 3, and a number 4 again. And closing it up with number 5. This is row number 2. And again, place it aside. And we're going to go for the last row for the smaller size. And this is again, of course, I do it now together with you, but I don't do everything together with you. So don't worry, bear with me. I'm doing as fast as I can. But for everyone who loves to see how it is made, I do it step by step always. And again, number 5. And we're going to get our towel and we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. And we're going to place it aside. And we're going to do it over here the same. And also on this one. So it doesn't get messy on your DIY. So we have already 1, 2, 3 pieces of 5. We are going to now get 2 blocks. And we're going to glue them on the tops against each other. Very simple. Easy, just squeeze it, press it down and remove the glue, and we're going to let this dry in at least for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue them together. And now for everyone who uses the smaller blocks like this, I would go for 7 blocks glued together. I have 5. For the smaller blocks it is 7, and of course I do not, for the smaller one I do 3 rows, but I would do, if you have the bigger block of the smaller blocks, I would go at least for 4, and then you build it out. But this is the base for the whole DIY, 7 blocks glued together, and then you can make the shape you like and how big you want to have them. And of course for the 2 blocks I would go for, of course, for under here I would go for 3. And this way I would go for this. You see already now he's popping out on each side a little piece. So this is the base when you use the smaller blocks, 7 blocks and 3 blocks for the underside. But you see what you must do with it in a moment. So we did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. And you see already I also show you this way. The blocks were not happy with me that I already took them off. And of course, I'm going to glue it together, but I will leave this one down. I'm going to get this one and I'm going to do some glue on the side. And you see, don't worry about if it does fall out of each other. You just simply glue it together again because it is still not glued, because that's a little bit of the bad thing about wood glue. You need a couple of minutes longer to make a nice steady base. And of course, if you want to have it really steady, you have to leave it overnight. So, and again, we're going to glue this one together, very easy. Squeeze it and squeeze this one in also, and then make a nice piece like this, because we have to sew it in a moment. You see, now we already have the base for the smaller size, and of course we have to let this dry in, because if we're going to sew it now, everything will fall apart. You saw already what I did earlier. So, and now we're going to gain the medium size. The medium size is also again 5 blocks, but if you want to have a very big center, then you can go for 6 wide, but I'm going to choose for this time for 5 and leave it also with 5. And this way, squeeze them together again. And we're going to lay this one aside and of course make a nice row. We're going to do 5 blocks again. And this is of course the second row of 5, like this. And of course, if you are making also this kind of centers, and if you like it, maybe you can send some picture to us, because Dyanne and I love to see what you are making, and we can learn from you, from your tips and tricks, what you are making. So if you are also a DIYer and you love to show us what you do, and you see, we are also amateurs. And of course, I'm sorry, the doorbell was going. I'm really sorry, I had to take it. So I'm going to go further. We already have 2 pieces of 5. It's always a chaos here. So sorry. And we're going to go further with number 3 and 4 and 5 will be again the closure up. And then we're going to go one higher than we did with the size small, because this will be a medium size. And of course, again, the last 5. And we're going to do the same way. And this is number 2 and number 3. And of course, I don't know if everyone is enjoying centers, because I also saw online on YouTube that there are people that don't like center decor, because everyone has, of course, his favorite, maybe snowman or maybe a little bit more of the neutral tones. So I don't know, let me know in the comments down below if you like a snowman DIYs or not, of snowman or center DIYs, or what is your preference. I really would love to know what you like. I am always very enjoying always a center, at least the maybe the rustic looking, vintage looking, just how you call it. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So I am going to lay them this way. I'm going to do some glue on the sides again, this way. And I'm going to place it against each other and squeeze it. And we're going to do this one. And of course, you see already, I just let this one dry in a little bit more, because the doorbell was going. And you see already, I have really a hard time getting the glue off this part. So this is really not a great idea to stop in the middle of your DIY. So just don't do it the way I do. Just make it off before you go to the doorbell. But of course, sometimes you have to go to the doorbell. And again, place it against here. And we're going to squeeze it. And we're going to let this dry also. Place it over here. Clean your space up. And we're going to get, again, 2 blocks. And we're going to do the tops with a little glue. And place them also together and squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to let this dry in also. And we're going to go make a number 3 So you see already I took another place mat and I'm going to do the last one over here because he will be a little bit bigger again. And of course we are going to do 5, and like I told you earlier, if you want to have a bigger, then just go for a couple of wider, but also then you have the underside. We have now 2 blocks, but then you have to go of that one of course to 3 blocks or else you will be too short. So this is already number 1, and we are going to make 5 pieces of 5, but I will do this a little bit faster. In the meantime, when our 3 little planks are drying, we are going to make the bottom. And of course the bottom you can do only 3 blocks to give it a stand. But I always love a little bit that it has a little bit more like a high-end look. So I'm going to do the 3 blocks. Of course I'm going to make 3 pieces of 3. I also do this one, but I'm going to do an extra layer under it to give it a little bit more like a high-end look. So I'm going to do this 3, squeeze them and make it a nice straight line. And of course I have to do this one a little. And now we're going to do this one. I always love to go a little further in my DIYs because my head is always going a little bit further. I can do that, I can still do that. My brains are never resting when it comes from DIYing, because I always have things in my head. Sometimes it's very busy in my head with ideas. So this way I'm going to squeeze it. You see already this one is really offline, the block. If you are looking right, you see already he is missing one part. So I'm going to take it away because I don't like that it has a real big opening. So I'm going to go for this one and again squeeze it. And we need 3 because we have 3 sizes of our. And we're going to let this dry. Now I'm going to show you, for everyone who is using the smaller blocks, of course you do 2 together, very easy, just 2 blocks together. You do here 2 blocks together and you place 1 in between and glue them together this way and this way. Then you have not totally a square, but a little bit of square. Then you do 5 blocks together, glue them this way, and you go, when everything is dried up, you're going to get your 5 and you're going to glue it on top of here. And then you also have your own unique little stand. So very easy, 2 together, in the middle 2, 1, and then glue them this way, and then 5 blocks and then place them on top of here. So very easy. For our understand, for the everyone who uses the bigger blocks, it's very easy. We're going to make a square. So I'm going to do some glue on the top. I think a lot of you who are here already for a long time know this way already. Do some glue on this top. We're going to glue it over here. And now we're going to do this one on the top. And a little glue on the side. Just a little drop. And we're going to place it. Of course we have to turn it around, is better. And this way. And now we can squeeze everything together. Be careful. And we do it the way you have a nice square, this way. And you see already, we are going to make 3 of this one. You see, I have my 3 squares and I'm going to do some glue on the inside, very carefully on the inside of our block, very long against the line over here. And we're going to place our block on top and in the middle and press it down. And this way, this is already number 1. We're going to do number 2, but be careful because your glue is still not totally dried up. But if you carefully, you can do a lot of things already. Only using your jigsaw will be a little bit difficult, because this is always, then your glue need to be a little bit more dried out. So, and again, we're going to do this way. And against the line over here. And the last one, we're going to place it on top of here. And again, squeeze it and redo it. And make sure that everything is stick together. And now we're going to let the whole piece dry in before we're going to get our saw. And you see already, here are our 3 planks we are going to use. What we're going to do, we are going to make from all 3 of them just the shape of a Christmas tree. So we take the measurement from the top, and it is of course 11.5, at least for my block, but just measure it out for yours. And this will be the middle. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this middle and on the ending of this point to this point. So very easy. And then make a nice line with your ruler and your pencil. My ruler is very thin, so every time I go on top of my ruler instead of beside it. But I'm going to do my best. This is already one side. And now we're going to turn it over, and we're going to go from this side until this side. I have to go over here and make a nice line, maybe a little lower. And we're going to go for this way. And you see, now we already have our own little tree. It looks like a tree, but of course it will be a Santa. At least we're going to try to look like a Santa. So I'm going to do all 3 of them. So I have all my 3 pieces, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to cut them out with my jigsaw. Of course, you can also use a hand saw. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to keep the scrap pieces which are getting over, because with this tool you can also glue them together and you have a nice tree already. So we are going to try to keep the sides also. You see already on my table, it is one big mess with pieces because when I did saw it, of course, it is a little bit too fast. If you want to be sure, just glue everything together and make sure that you leave it overnight and then get your jigsaw, because don't do the way I do. Just leave it overnight, because I want too fast and then pieces are falling apart. These are the scrapwood pieces, and of course I'm going to glue them together, and so we get a nice tree again. I have here a scrapwood piece, and of course I'm going to glue this also, and the bigger one. So I have 3 free Christmas trees also, and I'm going to glue them and give them later also a paint. So I'm going to glue everything together right now. Now the pieces are drying again. Of course, I'm going to get my piece of dowel. Of course, I don't know how you call it in English. I think a dowel, if I'm correct, and maybe a rod, I don't know for sure, but I keep it with dowel. Of course, you can, this is this size, but you can use the smaller size, a little bit bigger. You can do whatever you think is right. I'm going to saw in pieces of 10 centimeter, 15 centimeter, and 20 centimeter, because for the smaller Santa Claus I'm going to do the 10, for the middle the 15, and for the bigger one the 20. Of course, he will be very big, so we will see how this will turn out. And of course, now we made from the scrapwood pieces also our trees. They need of course also a stand, and we did a high-end look stand for the one, but for this one we're only going to do just 2 blocks together, and we're going to glue them under it there. So very easy, just glue 2 blocks together. And if you have the smaller blocks, I would go for 3, but double it up. So 3, 3, and then glue them together. And you get a little bit of a bigger base. And of course, you also can do it with your bigger blocks if you like it better. Then you get a little bit like this, and then place your thing. Maybe that's also a great thing. Maybe he's a little bit more stable to stand on. I'm going for this one also. So I'm going to get a couple of blocks extra, And I'm going to make 4 pieces for one stand of our tree, and we need 3. So we have our 3 easy stands, of course, for our tree. We're going to get the scrapwood tree. We're going to do some glue on the underside, very easy, and we're going to glue it on top of our stand. And you see how easy it is to make a nice Christmas tree only from pieces of scrapwood. So we're going to squeeze it in real hard, and we're going to let this dry before we're going to paint it. So now we're going to make on our of course our Santa's a face, and I'm going to use Santa's gnomes, just how you call it. It looks even like a little gnome. We are going to make a mark. Of course, this is what I draw out. I just did a piece over here, a one line, and I'm going to took here the middle of here. I made a stripe over here. I made a stripe over here, and I just did little eyes. And of course, I have to work on it. But this is you just make a triangle. So you go for first you make the line this way where you want to have it. Then you're going to make the middle over here of your gnome or Santa, and you're going to go this way. And everything else will be painted, only this way will get a little bit of the creamy color, or maybe the wood color, just what you want. And before we go further in this DIY, of course, I have to tell you that this video is also part of a beautiful get-together, which is called What Would You Make? This get-together is hosted by the beautiful Connie from Art with Connie and the beautiful Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY. The guest host for this month is the beautiful May from Craft Away with May. Of course, I will place a link down below for the 3 beautiful ladies, their channels, so go check it out, you won't be sorry. And of course, I will place a link down below with the playlist with tons and tons of beautiful wood inspiration for you to find, so go check it out. And for now, let's jump into our DIY again. You see, I have on all 3 of them just a simple sketch of a face, just very easy, just like I said, a triangle, 2 little dots where I want to have the nose later with some black marker. So this is very easy, but if you are a great drawer, just make your own cute little face, but I'm not such a great drawer. So I'm going to now first take my white paint, and I'm going to paint a little like kind of a beard, and I'm going to give it, and later we are going to make the top of this one, we are going to make a nose. We are going to cut off this piece over here, and then we're going to make a cute little nose for on top of here, but we do that later. But first I'm going to make a kind of a beard over here. So I'm just going to go very easy with my white, and of course I'm going to try to make it look like kind of a beard. If I go over the lines, it's not really a problem, because later I'm going to paint it in another color. So I'm just going to do my best. I hope you are a better painter than I am, but I'm just going to give it a try. And we will see how this will turn out. So I will do all 3 of them. So you see, I did all the kind of a beard, of course. I hope there are a lot of you just the same like I am. I'm just going to try to make something out of it. I'm going to do for the rest, I'm going to get my brown color. And of course, you can also do, maybe if you like better a red color, it's also fine too. You can do different colors. But I'm going to get my brown color, and I'm going to make the rest in the brown color this way, and I'm going to go very lightly around here. And of course, from on top of here, this piece is also brown, but this stays the same color, but this will be in brown, and the under piece of our Santa Claus will be, of course, in a little bit of the lighter color. But I'm going to make this brown. So I've painted my Santa Clauses. What I'm going to do, I'm going to paint this one with a little bit of a sand color. It's a little bit more of white. And I'm going to paint all the other parts. And of course my dowels I'm going to paint all in the same color. And the little nose I'm going to do later, I think maybe black. We will see, but that's later. So I'm going to give this one a sand color. You see, this is a little bit more off-white and it's not totally brown. So it gives also a little bit of the wood structure through the paint. And I really like that. So I'm going to give it a little layer of this coat and not too much. But if you want to have it totally in another color, go ahead, do whatever you think is right. And you see already on this side, everything is drying. What I'm going to do, we are going to make our nose. And like I said, we are going to make it from this wooden, we also have a little game here in the Netherlands, mens erg je niet. But I think you already know which one I will like. And of course you also can use just a simple bead. So, but I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to do some cutting tool and I'm just going to make little cuts and turn it around in the meantime. Just turn it and turn it as long as it falls off. You see already, this is already one. And I'm going to do the last one. Very easy, just going to cut little pieces and turn it around in the meantime. And this way. And just as long, like I said, until it is falling off. And this one is already almost down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the little balls. I'm going to do them in some black schoolboard paint. Very easy. And then you already have your nose. But if you want to have the nose in a different color, it's also fine too. But I'm going to for the black color. So I'm just going to color this black. And then let this dry also. And then we're going to put all the pieces together. So we are going to build the first gnome Santa together. What we're going to do, we're going to take our little stand. We are going to get, of course, our glue and we're going to do the smaller pieces on top of here. So do a little drop of glue this way. I'm going to place it in the middle over here and this way. And we're going to squeeze it and we're going to do it on this side the same. Again, a little glue and then we're going to let it dry in. Over here. And we're going to, oh, you see already, he is walking away this way. And we're going to let this dry. So we are getting our smaller gnome and we are going to do some glue on the top of the little bead. Of course we are doing a little because the bead is very small, so we are going to do a little glue. And of course I have to look because for my glue gun is already a little coming out, so I'm going to do just a little drop this way and I'm going to place it in the middle. At least I'm going to try to get it in the middle over here. You see, this is how he's looking like right now. And I'm going to get some buttons and I'm going to get 2 wooden slices this way and I'm going to glue them with a little drop of glue over here and another one with a little drop over here, and we're going to, we already have it gone and it's over here. I have to remove the glue because we don't want glue on our little Santa. And of course I hope I get it off. Don't do it the way that I do it. So I'm going to get my black marker and I'm going to mark this in the black color. Very easy. And of course you also can make some paint, some black paint. But I love the marker. So I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to glue it on top on this too. So I get some wood glue and I'm going to glue it under our first smaller size of our Santa. And we are going to place it in the middle of our stand. And again, just let it dry also for a couple of minutes. And here you see my 3 little stands, and I have to tell you something about the stands because I had a measurement from 10 centimeter, 50 centimeter and 20 centimeter, but of course I was looking and looking. If I would do the bigger one on this kind of stand, he would be huge. So, and that's not the look that I am going for, because I already like it the way he is right now, only on this kind of stand. So I'm still debating with myself if I even going to use this stands, because you didn't make them yet, so you still can leave them behind, but I made them and I'm still debating if I'm going to do it. We will see, because if I leave it this way, of course, then I can make with the trees which are leftovers, this kind of trees, and you place them behind them, you can make a nice little forest with Santas. But of course we will see. And you see already I did the eyes with some googly eyes, because I am really not a great eye maker, so I did some googly eyes with some sticker on the back side, and I'm really loving how he is turning out right now. But I'm still going to look for if I like it on top of here. But if you want to do it, you want to place only the 3 little Santas, then you go for the 10 centimeter, 8 centimeter and 6 centimeters. So, or else they will be much too high, unless you like high. So I made up my mind. I did take a look, and it is also very cute if you place them on the stand. So I'm going to do some glue on the top of this one, of course this way. And I'm going to let it in for a couple of minutes. So I don't immediately place it on top. So I'm going to let it dry in. And also for this one and for the other one. And then I hope that they are even, because it's very hard to get the dowels on the same length, because I have some measurement tool and I placed them inside and just did with my saw. But it is hard to get them not on the same size. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to place my Santa on top. So I did let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and of course I'm going to take my small one, but I also gave it a little bit of the gold touch with my gold marker. But it's of course, that's also something I like. It's not everyone's cup of tea. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to turn this one over, and I'm going to place it in the middle of my center, and I'm going to keep it in place for a couple of minutes. But of course, in a moment later, I'm going to glue all 3 of them, but you are going to see now the quick impression. And here you see a quick impression of our tumbling tower blocks, a little Santas, and I'm so happy with all 3 sizes. Of course, if you leave the feet out and you use the scrap wood pieces which were left over from our wood and we made trees out of it, we can make a cute little forest for the Santas / gnomes, just how you call it. Of course, I did this time the eyes with some googly eyes. I know, dear friend Paula, you don't really a fan of the googly eyes, and I promise I'm going to try to do the next time the eyes with some paint, so don't worry. Of course, everyone, I hope you did this DIY together with me, and you have right now your own cute little Santas. And if you're just here to watch, of course, I hope you had fun watching. If you want to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give it a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Enough talking. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.